Hi, I'm Nick Hughes with Dynamic Coach. Recently, I've been working with a series of clients, training their sales teams, and a common theme has run through these sessions and sectors of highly competitive area. Let's take a short look at what these are. A buyer's trap is basically them trying to bring an abrupt end to the sales conversation on their terms with some subtle or sometimes not so subtle tactics in order to get the salesperson to agree to something they would normally not necessarily agree to. The classic pitfalls of the buyer's trap are the ultimatum, the deadline, the false compromise and the decoy. So let's take a look at the ultimatum. The buyer is likely to be slightly ambivalent about the situation and will propose a take it or leave it offer. This leverage makes the seller then responsible for the failure to reach an agreement and completely undermines the negotiation process. Very often leaves the buyer also at the danger of falling into their own trap. So to counter this situation, your potential options are: apologise. Perhaps you've not understood the value my service brings to your business. Ignore the threat and continue the negotiation without acknowledging the buyer's position. Use humour to ignore the point. Finally, you can pretend to leave yourself. If you aren't valuing my service, etc, etc, etc. The deadline. Classically used late in the day, particularly on Friday afternoons, when the client knows any further support you may need back at the office is likely to be on thin ground. This involves demanding an immediate response. I'll sign up now if you agree. It plays on the fact that the client may or may not have other options. So to counter this situation, your potential options are: be surprised and ask questions to why the urgency and really understand that problem. Challenge them, go for more in return. Ask for big commitments to test whether they're committed. Allow suspensive clauses, so subject to X from you, in return we would look to achieve Y. You could always leave and play for time. The false promise. There's a split the difference. Don't do it. Don't do it. So to counter this situation, your potential options are: it also implies splitting the difference is a fair solution to the impasse. Learn to negotiate. The balance of power swings back in their favour. Go back to your value, stick to the facts and figures and the value that you bring to the client. The decoy. The decoy involves misdirection away from the vital point the buyer really wants you to concede on. They will discuss and argue various other points. They will wear the seller down, and in some cases for hours, sometimes appearing to give you substantial concessions, but lurking in the background is the big one they want you to concede on. So to counter this situation, your potential considerations are: ask them up front what their challenges are with the deal. Be prepared to stop the meeting when the big one is revealed, but it wasn't mentioned at the beginning of the meeting as an issue. Be prepared to renegotiate. Understand what your parameters are before you enter the room and have it mapped out what you're prepared to give away, but also what you want in return as a concession. So hopefully this short session will help you understand a little about buyer's traps. There are probably many more, but these are the most common ones I see on a regular basis. I've been Nick Hughes of Dynamic Coach.